Hi guys, it's Josh Packard. I want to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to my heart and something that's very painful for me to watch other people go through. And it's something that I went through for years until the Lord set me free. And I want to explain to you how I was deceived and how more than likely you are deceived, okay? Or you're out of it and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I want to start off with a comparison. There's two Jesuses. I know that sounds crazy, but there are two people that we call Jesus. There's the real Jesus, and then there's the fake Jesus. Well, this fake Jesus is actually Satan masquerading as Jesus, as a messenger of light. He'll look just like Jesus on the outside, and it'll sound like he's trying to get you to do the same things that Jesus is. But you'll see the difference here in a moment. So you could be a Christian your whole life, and you could be calling Satan Jesus and bowing down and worshiping him and not realizing it. Okay, the main reason I want to get at this is because I see this in relationships all the time. Satan promises you everything. If you just work a little harder, if you just conform yourself, if you just quit cussing and drinking and all these things, if you just quit doing this stuff, you'll get there. Oh yeah, let me pray for you. Oh, you know, there's something between you and God, and I pray that you get it out of the way so that you can become nearer to him, and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's how Satan talks to you, because what he does is he says righteous things, very nice things, like, oh, shouldn't you worship God, what he's done for you? And then what he's going to do with the same token is say that you're not worshiping him. Make sense? So you'll sit there and go, oh, I must not be worshiping right, so I better go to church more, or I better sing harder, or raise my hands, or whatever I got to do. And you're constantly looking around. You're never satisfied. You're always thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. And so you're trying to be a better Christian, better Christian, better Christian. Well, the evidence of you doing that means that your Jesus is actually Satan in disguise. Hi, surprise. So now look at your relationships that way. If you're in a relationship, and I'm telling you, both people are sick, so I'm not blaming the bad person or the good person on these, but both people are sick in this instance because their love is sentimental. Because love can only be built on trust, absolute trust. So if you're afraid someone's going to cheat on you or leave you or any of these things, if you're ever worried about that stuff, constantly worried about that stuff, well, what has happened is, who do you think that person's serving? And who do you think you're worshiping? It's sentimental love. It's false love, because it's not built on trust. You're chasing that person. You're trying to become better. You're not good enough. You're trying to fill that hole inside yourself. Okay, and this is not right. It's disgusting, and you're the problem, because now you're going to get married to that person. You're going to chase them. Then you're going to teach your kids to do the same thing. Well, all this while, who are you worshiping? It's Satan, masquerading as Jesus. Okay. On the other side, how do you know the real Jesus? How can you tell Jesus is there? Well, what you do is you'll believe that he loves you, because Jesus doesn't do that to you. Jesus, he's trying to get you to be righteous. But his righteousness isn't outward righteousness. His righteousness is just having peace with God and comfort and being at home with him. And so what Christ does is he says, I am God. I came to save you. I love you. I will never leave you. I won't go anywhere. I'm here no matter what. No matter what you do to me. No matter how you can crucify me, and I won't leave you. I'm here. I love you. I'm not going anywhere. And this is what Jesus says to you. He makes you comfortable. He makes you believe that you're important to him. He makes you believe that he is not going to go anywhere. He builds his relationship with you on trust. Well, take that down to his children. So if this is your Jesus, you're worshiping the true Jesus. Congratulations. But now let's look down at your relationships. So are you in a relationship with somebody? I can honestly tell you, my wife is the first person ever in my life I was able to do this with. That we actually love each other. My wife will never cheat on me. Ever. I know it. I will never cheat on her, and she knows it. Because we both make it our effort to know that we both esteem each other better than ourselves. I won't go anywhere without her if there's other women around. I won't do anything. I don't go around praising other women in front of her. I don't put her in any position to where she could ever doubt my sincerity and my love for her. Because in that position, when she trusts me, then it generates true love in her. So she loves me as God intended. Okay? So It's the same. So Satan, he masquerades and he calls himself Jesus. His worshipers will pray to him as Jesus, but their efforts of worship will be trying to fix themselves or trying to chase him, and they'll work themselves into a frenzy. I'm in the spirit. No, you're not. You're actually in the flesh, because the flesh is very powerful. It feels so powerful, but it's not, because you're just trying to fill the hole in yourself. Without trust, there can be no love. So if you don't receive Jesus' sacrifice and trust that he has saved you 100%, that he presented you before God holy and blameless in love, that you can never be plucked out of his hand, that nothing in all of creation can separate you from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus. If that is your Jesus, congratulations, that is the real Jesus. And you are a child of God. So, now, with your interpersonal relationships, a sentimental person will chase, a sentimental mother will put drugs, she'll put relationships, she'll put all these things above her children, even though she says, oh, I love them. Well, your love is strong. They would say, oh, I would die for my kids. Well, the thing is, you won't live for your kids. You'll put your needs in front of theirs and then say you love them. That's not love. In a true relationship where love is real, then you will put yourself in a position to where you might suffer. You might not get to what you want. But it's for the benefit of the relationship. So that person can trust that you're never going to leave them, because that produces love. Real, true love. That you can share in a relationship, that you can pass to your children, that you can show to your community the wisdom of God in that love. So folks, that's all I want to say tonight. And I want to encourage you. Don't listen to that false Jesus. There are many people with big freaking plaques that say, I went to seminary, that are worshiping that Jesus. And they're guilting you for not doing it. Okay? Don't listen to them. Quit it. Jesus loved you and washed you in his own blood. He loves you daily. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He is your God. He is your friend. He is your lover. He will never leave you. Trust that. In the same way, love your wife and your husband as you love yourself and your children. Put them before you. This is how you love them. All right, you guys? Took me forever to learn this stuff, because believe me, I'm the biggest douchebag there is. I was the biggest Captain Sabaho. I was the biggest, most selfish, and to this day I'm learning more of my selfishness now that I have a wife and a child, and I see how disgusting I really am. I mean, but now I know, I'm on the right path. I know the one who loved me and washed me in his own blood. Okay? I want you guys to know him, because it'll change your life like it did to mine. It'll bring sanity, peace, joy. Have it, in waterfalls, in buckets. Enjoy it. Enjoy life. When you're not having to earn and chase and be a slave to Satan, who calls himself Jesus. And they get people praying to him all the time and saying they're Christians. But they are just deceived. So it's our job to go around and say, hey, this is what Jesus really looks like. Consider who you're serving. All right, you guys? God bless you all. Jesus is Lord. And hope this helped. You guys, love you. Have a good night.